Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Basement Quality Banter, episode 60. Good evening, everyone. And Caesar, how are you this evening?
Mate, I'm not too bad at all. Can't complain.
And you have a beverage?
I do. I have Evil Megacorp delivery arrived this week. And so I have the elderflower wine. So barrel-aged barley wine with elderflower. So, and really cool. Comes with some 3D glasses, which I think you showed off a post the other day.
Yep.
So, keen to crack into this.
Yeah, all the labels. You work with 3D goggles for a bit of fun. Well, I've gone something different this evening. Jasper Newton Daniel, just a double jack and cola. This just felt like something sugary and caffeine-y and not beery tonight, which is good for a beer-based podcast. But double jack, 6.9, 330ml.
Does the job.
Does the job. How is your beer?
Got a bit of head on it. I poured it pretty poorly, but
Now, I wonder if you're supposed to wear the goggles while you drink it too.
Can only help. Smell is fantastic. You can smell the barley wine through it. It's a little bit of sweetness from that elderflower, but it's actually quite nice. It's quite smooth. Like it's a 10% beer, and it's not tasting like a 10% beer, which is good. Like sometimes they can get particularly like those White Russians can be very harsh. This is not. This is nice and smooth.
Is it a bit floral from?
Yeah, a little bit. You still get that barrel-aged, that barley wine sort of flavour through it. And then just on the back end of it, you get that floral elderflower.
Interesting. I haven't cracked any of the latest subscription yet, but I definitely will be in the coming days. In beer news, and Angus is off this evening. He's off expanding his portfolio of properties. Trying to get it all in before the taxes change too much for him. So he's too busy packing boxes tonight, but hopefully we'll have him next week. So in beer news, I have Felons have released their annual Imperial Stout. This year it's 9.2, which I think is a little bit up than normal. And they've also got their Midnight Rum Run. It's the big 750ml, 12.5%. Edition that's been aged in ex-husk barrels. I reckon that sounds very, very yum.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get my hands on both of those. So Tom or Link, if you're listening, let us know.
I always try and have a look out for them at the beer awards because they usually put one of their barrel aged in.
I always try and hit up Matt when he's brewing some of the funky stuff. Their barrel age program is astounding. I had a saison a couple of years ago that was done in Chardonnay barrels, and you could taste the Chardonnay, but it just worked. It was just amazing. Their barrel program's brilliant.
Well, speaking of barrels, though, I happened to be out at Hiker the other week, and I was talking to Phil, and they've got some barrels down there now, but I believe they're actually going to put whiskey in the barrels. So
okay.
Yeah, so do a whiskey instead. So
they must have got a distiller's license then.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. I think you've got to get a different license to distill, but yeah. Oh, that sounds interesting. And also, people who have signed up to the FAF newsletter would have seen FAF number 6 pre-sale came out. Looks amazing. It looks like it's a red IPA. Well, he only does IPA, so it looks red. That was one of my suggestions when he asked, what he should do next, and I put in like a red IPA for autumn and a black IPA for winter. Anyway, it looks lovely. He put some shots up today of him drinking it from the tank, and the colour looks amazing. So
it does.
I
got really lucky. I think I saw his post about them going up.
Yep.
and then I went on the website, like, okay, there was nothing there. And then I just clicked through a page, and then it popped up. So I think with their number order, I think I was like the 9th one of the day.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I think you posted yours, you're like 1060, 10670 or something, and I was 10609.
Yeah.
So I was pretty happy. But he posted this morning saying there's 85% of the already sold in one day. So it's crazy.
The hype is real, and it's still working for him, I think. And they're really cool beers, and I'm enjoying it still.
Yeah.
The $5 flat shipping helps because now their big cans are more expensive. So we will most likely be trying them on this potty when we get them landed. I'm not sure if Angus got them, but yeah, he's getting enough money out of us anyway, Lockie.
I guess the way you come on our podcast and we'll buy you beer from you.
Well, that's how it's worked, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
I get faff. I subscribe to Evil Mega Corp.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. You got the Chuck Khan.
Yeah, I got Chuck Khan
subscription as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen a bit for a while though, so it must be due soon.
Yeah. I also had the unions have been pushing really hard in Tassie around this Bogues closure, and they're trying to get Lion to sell Bogues back to the people. That Lion have come out and said no, we're not going to sell, and then they found some emails, and it's all a bit funny that there's been some leaked emails and interested parties, but apparently they will sell the brewery but not the brand. If it works out for everyone, they've got to make a call by September because brewing stops in November. So there's definitely a lot more story to go on that one, I believe.
Now, I think I saw a post today about they're definitely considering mainly because of public pressure.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that probably the Tassie government is probably going to chip in or something.
We will see.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Wubba is holding the Western Australian Beer and Brewing Conference on at the moment, and it's all about adapting to the changing industry. While closures dominate headlines, Western Australia has hosted the Beer and Brewing Conference this week. Strong attendance from brewers, suppliers, and hospitality operators. Topics focused on efficiency, diversification, and surviving a changing market rather than chasing rapid growth. Has Australia beer industry finally moved from its expansion mode into consolidation mode? Yes. I'm keen to hear more stories from people who attended because I think it's the most mature market in terms of craft beer that we have in Australia. It's also quite isolated and well supported, but any changes they make, we will definitely see ripple effects in the eastern states, in the next year or so. So
definitely,
that's one of those watch these spot, I think.
Yeah. And I saw a post yesterday. Joss, head steward for the Queensland Beer Awards, Hop On Tours, is heading over there thanks to a scholarship, I think, from the Pink Boot Society.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if we can hit her up, maybe, because it'll be good to chat to her anyway, but she might have some good insight on the back of this as well. So.
Yeah, I love what I've seen and heard from the Pink Boot Society. They really support, pathway to judging, pathway to brewing, supporting women in the industry. I think it's really cool. And my last bit of beer news was Archive in West End are holding their Armageddon again this year. Saturday, 12th of August, free entry. And it's a full-strength nostalgia backyard barbecue vibe.
Woo!
So
12th of August, that's around Echo.
It is.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to go back on maybe what beer festivals used to be like, and free entry and full-strength nostalgia. So yeah, it could be interesting.
Definitely remember going to a few of the early ones. It would be good to go back and see how that goes.
Yeah, they invited me to come once and sort of cover it on my socials for a free entry sort of thing,
Yep.
to be like an influencer sort of thing, and I I wasn't really confident in that, and Mim ended up getting it and doing it,
Yeah.
and he did a great job. So yeah, you had something on the IBA.
Yeah. So I saw an article that IBA posted. So basically, the IBA Agcaphy, I can't even say the word. Adcaphy, doesn't matter. Delivers $30 million into independent brewing supply chain. So apparently, on the as of yesterday, the excise remission scheme has increased from by $50,000 for every brewery in the country.
Yep.
With 619 independent breweries in the country, this represents up to $30.95 million dollars injection of real money into the supply chain. Breweries can use the additional savings to pay suppliers, expand production, increase marketing, manage working capital, or keeping costs of goods in check. I don't understand this entirely. I know you definitely have a little bit more say on this and probably have a bit more of a handle on it. But reading the actual article, it seemed to be more of a they turned it around into a bit of a push towards encouraging breweries to sign up to the IBA.
Yeah.
Because basically they were saying, 40% of independent breweries have elected not to be a member, and then if we all pay our little bit of subscription and our membership fees, we can do so much more. So that basically is what most of that was about. So it wasn't too much about the actual excise, but I believe you know more.
Yeah. So look, this is a good story, and but the headline is definitely got a lot of spin to it. So yes, with more money, the IBA could do more. I'm not disagreeing. They're running on a skeleton crew without any events, no BrewCon, no indies, and all of their income comes mainly from membership fees. If they had money, they could do more stuff. I get it. This extra 50K brings it up to, I think it's 400K for excise rebate now, which is really good. However, of those 619 independent breweries, and I even mentioned it on their post, on their Facebook post, a lot of them aren't even in the excise tax bracket. A lot of independent breweries are too small to even pay excise, or if they do, it's only a very small amount. You still have to pay it, and then you get it back, of course. I think you've got to, if you were doing cans and bottles only, it was, I think you'd have to brew, what is it, 187,000 litres a year. And if you're only doing kegs, it's 275,000 litres a year. Of course, most breweries do a mixture of both. It's a bit silly that there's different taxes on packages. Like it's still, it is still quite draconian, our system.
Yes.
But I would say of those 619, there's probably more than half who wouldn't be paying excise at all. So this doesn't apply to them. However, the ones who are big enough, the extra money is definitely helping them keep them, more competitive in the market. I don't know how advocacy can be measured directly as a result of them campaigning, but yeah, look, it's all good. I'm not trying to bag them out. I just think the headline of $30 million, that would be if all 619 of those independent brewers were brewing in those volumes. And then if it looked like that, we'd have a very, very different looking market, because there's no way that we'd have that many breweries producing that much beer.
Yeah.
But it's still a good story, and I think it's good that the IBA is still pushing that national story, and I think we still need more state-based representation. So look, yeah, I don't think it's a bad story. I just think that headline has been skewiffed a little bit, and Richard Adamson and Ev Craney even responded to my Facebook page and said, "Yeah, you're right, but this is still really good, and we're fighting the good fight." And I went, "Yeah, it's fair enough too."
Oh, look, and government do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like I said, the key term in the thing was represents up to. And the government do the exact same thing. They inflate the projections based on best possible scenario, or worse, depending on what narrative they want to tell.
Yeah.
And, you go from there. So,
yeah, they're not lying.
No.
But it might be...
standard media.
Yeah, it might be 100 breweries that are going to benefit from that, not 619. Yeah. But I'm still happy. That's really good. And you had, what did you have? Bramilia is coming up.
Yes. So they were meant to hold it 2 weeks ago. They had a bit of a snafu with their production.
Yeah.
Some of the plans, they either had to push it back 2 weeks or leave some planned beers out, which they didn't really want to do. So that's this weekend at the Capalaba site for Brackus.
Yep.
So one of the most anticipated weekends of the year is back, or is it black? Celebrating the shortest daylight hours of the year with the darkest of dark from Brackus cellars. 20 plus taps, all on nitro pour, all dedicated to the dark side. So brand new releases, plus many of your favourites. Warning, all beers are 10% plus alc.
Yep.
Which is huge. And then they've got a few other things going on too. Get some complimentary ice cream. Most importantly, it is their last one they will hold in Capalaba before they move to the north side. And they posted, I think it was today, that they're now, you have to book. You can book as long as you want, but this, because of the interest, it's worth booking just to make sure you can get in, because it's not the biggest of sites there.
Yeah. So I think Armageddon was the same. It's free entry, but you had to still book, so they know numbers and it's safe and security and pass stuff and all that. But so it sounds like they're making the call to actually they must have found someone for that Capalaba site, so they're moving over to the north side. So that's a bit sad for us on this side of the river. But yeah. So we don't have Angus around Australia or Angus around the world, but we still have Guess the Brewery in 10-ish questions. So I am guessing this week. And what crazy brewery has Caesar decided for me to try and find?
Are you implying that I make it difficult for you?
Maybe. Actually, I did give Angus a pretty rough one last week with Blaster from WA. So,
I watched the YouTube, and I agree. It wasn't the easiest one to find.
Yeah.
I know the name after you talk about it, but I also didn't know it at the time. So
yeah. Oh well, we've got 619 independent Australian ones to get through, so that gives us a few episodes. Anyway, we're only up to episode 60, and we've sort of been all around the world. So, so what country is this brewery in?
Australia.
Ooh, Australia. And what state?
It's a state we haven't touched yet.
Not a territory?
It might be a territory.
Might be a territory. ACT?
No.
Northern Territory?
Yes.
Alice Springs Brewing?
Yes. 100%. Got it. Oh, too easy. Look, they're a small brewery. They only started 2019. I think they got their first beer out. 18 when they started brewing, and then 19 they released. They've come through the Queensland Beer Awards a few times.
Yep.
They've always got it the hardest because they've got to get it from the brewery to the awards, and usually, they've had trouble with floods and stuff like that, and just transport and getting there and keeping it cold and all that fun stuff. So well done. Very, very quick tonight.
Even getting the raw materials, like when you see we've got a friend who's got a brewery in Bali, and you have to order your raw materials 11 weeks out, sort of thing, to get them shipped up. It's but yeah, Alice Springs, they got a couple of. They've actually done quite well. Was it them who they bought was it Port Phillip Bay? They bought another brewery in, I think it was South Australia, and it was like they had the two breweries are like 2,000 kilometers away from each other or something like that.
I don't know. Their website hasn't. Expansion ideas. Doesn't work here. Yeah, it doesn't really say. It's just they just talk about.
I think where their business called that's not a knife.
Yeah.
And that's a knife or something like that.
Yeah, they got some really good ones. So their Almost Summer Ale was their first one. Central Australian Ale. I had here's all the numbers. Knife beers. Selling their pilot batch knife beers.
Yeah.
So, which is, all those ones.
Very cool.
So, no, it was a good little place to go. Had a couple that they said the first time I found them, they turned up on the morning of judging.
Yep.
So I think I had to sneak them in the afternoon. I think they made most of their slots anyway. But they literally arrived off the truck and they got poured. The cans were just dirty stickers on clean cans that as soon as it got a little bit condensy, they all fell off.
Yeah.
So basically, by the time we got to the end of judging and we got to take out a couple of beers home, these were clean skin cans. No one knew what they were, but I think I had them on my table and I received them from Jocelyn while she was busy and chucked them out. So I knew what they were, and so I got a whole heap of them because no one wanted them. So it was cool. Yeah, I quite enjoyed them.
Yeah,
even with the distance, and it's
Yeah, I think they've been doing better every year too. I think they've had a couple of different brewers. I think when I was doing the TAFE course, they were offering a brewer to go out there, and it was a pretty decent package. Like you sort of remote Australia, I think you got a cruiser and accommodation, and because you've got to pay to get the talent into those remote areas with any job, cost of living and everything out there. So very interesting. But I like that. Very cool. Alice Springs. Is it Alice Springs Brewing or Alice Springs Beer Co? What is it?
Alice Springs Brewing Co.
Brewing Co. Lovely.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, was that all of our beer news this evening?
Pretty much. I keep seeing little bits and pieces come through, but the only other beer news which can lead into our next segment with our sports ball is that the pubs in Queensland have been given the ability to serve until 7 a.m. With a special license for the Socceroos game. So all pubs will be allowed to be open from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. on Saturday to broadcast the game, special license, subject to no outstanding license or fee-related issues, which is at least nice and responsible. So, but that's good to see. There's always ways around these things too. Like you can always go in for a breakfast and it technically counts because you're having a meal.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, well, like most suburban pubs in Queensland are 4 a.m. licensed anyway. So it's only extending that, by 3 hours. But a lot of them won't do it. It'll be only the ones that, they'll definitely get a crowd. And I assume the pubs will be turned off and Keno won't be going. Yeah.
Yes. Well, on that, I did actually. That reminds me. I
Mm.
did see something tonight, and I saw it quickly. I didn't. It was after I grabbed my notes. I was having dinner.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's an argument going on with TAB. So
Yep.
and in particularly independent pubs in Queensland. Apparently, they've increased their fees, and they're basically there's 200 have decided to remove themselves from TAB um, because of this argument that with the basically trying to money grab.
Yeah.
So that makes it much more interesting. So maybe more to see from that.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
I
it's
know.
good for the local breweries that don't have to compete with pokies.
Yeah. Don't want gaming in there.
No.
There's it was like the brewery up at the Sunshine Coast sold all their pokey licenses. The Matsos up there sold all their pokey licenses so they could renovate the site. Because the licenses in Queensland are attached to the site. So, well, on the World Cup, we're through to the knockouts on Saturday morning. Kickoffs at 4, but I think coverage starts at 3 on the East Coast. Amy Park in Melbourne is offering free breakfast to the first 10,000 people coming through the gates. Now, they had that amount of people there at the last game that people went early for the 5 a.m. to sit in a stadium and watch it on the big screens. And I think that's pretty impressive dedication. A lot of people who went there said that it was really family friendly and the kids were running around and it was a really good atmosphere. So if those Melbourneites can get up at 3 and they'll get a free brekkie and go watch it on the big screen, I think that'll be pretty good.
It's fantastic. It's really good to see. And of course, I think it was the biggest game ever on the last match against Paraguay because of the lunchtime kickoff for us.
Yeah.
So it was
So,
huge.
so we're against Egypt.
Yes.
I think we're ranked 26th, they're ranked 28th. So it's probably our closest matchup in FIFA rankings. We do have a chance. It would be amazing if we got through to the next round and play either Argentina or Cape Verde. The Cape Verde story is amazing that they're such a little country done so well. What's interesting is Paraguay, who we did beat, got in third in our group and they got to play off against Germany yesterday or today. And
Yesterday.
They actually kicked Germany out. So Paraguay is still alive. So they came third in our group and they are still alive and they've shocked by taking out Germany. So good on them.
And I'm surprised America won today and is still alive as well. So with going a man down as well.
Yeah.
So
that's
all right.
Still liking it. In the FIA Battery Management World Championship, George won the Spielberg race at the Red Bull Ring. At times, it was a really cool race. Kimi made a couple of mistakes, and George will probably go into Silverstone with the confidence that he's been lacking. It sounds like he's been overdriving in his attempts to chase Kimi, and Toto just told him to just drive. So I think he's been in his head a little bit, and that worked out pretty well for him. I had Lewis had a good battle with Verstappen, continues his good form since dropping sim work. So Lewis isn't doing any sims anymore, and he started doing Kim work. So that probably has made a bit of difference to Lewis's results. Max looks to be coming to grips with the new car. And all 4 RB cars in the points at home in front of the bosses couldn't have hurt.
I think your biggest problem is Red Bull did so well. But I think part of the problem that Lewis is having is that they were talking about it on the coverage is that the Ferrari just doesn't do well with the heat, and being at altitude, their little turbo didn't help them either.
Yeah.
So
if there's slow corners, they're doing really well. They're the fastest in the slow corners, but when there's long, extended corners, they're not good. But the McLarens just aren't up there. The virtual safety car didn't help. Everyone's saying bring back the actual safety cars. However, it was Oscar Piastri got the top speed of the whole race. He didn't get fastest lap, but he got the top speed at 348 kilometers per hour. So there is some speed in the McLarens. It's just when they're deploying it.
Yeah. If you've watched this over years, though, you'll notice that that does tend to happen a little bit, and it's usually back markers with they have less budget on their aero packages, so they just make them slippery because it's the easiest way to gain time for when they can't spend millions of dollars for a tenth of a second.
Yeah.
So it's possible that's what they did. They just had less on the car to try and help themselves a bit.
Yeah. In the 6 again comp, nothing really to report. The Origin 3 sides have been released, and there's been quite a few changes in the Sky Blue camp, which makes me believe that the Maroons are in for the win next Wednesday. Yeah. Should be a cracker of a game, but I don't think the Blues have a chance, to be honest.
It's going to be tough, particularly at Suncorp. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
So there could be we could miss a podcast tomorrow night depending on how much we celebrate.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be fine, but
yeah.
that'll be good.
You went and saw the Lions pounce on the pretty Swans last week.
I did. So Swans top 2 team. Brisbane had a 43-point win, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a big win, and they really played well. But they are actually right this second currently playing. They just started after half time. They kicked 8 goals in the first quarter to Geelong's 1, but Geelong's had a better second quarter. But obviously I've been on the podcast, so I don't know what's going on. I dare say that there's a bit of a win going on down at Kadia Park there, or Lions are just sort of getting behind the ball a bit.
Well, this is
we will see.
This is Royal Queen. This is grand final replay, isn't it?
Yes. So it's the second one of the year. The Geelong played us very early in the season, and they beat us as well at home. So it'd be good to hopefully we can hold it on and win tonight. We'll see how we go. So
no, very good. And you're filling in for Angus with some rugby.
I do. There's a couple of big things to note. I think if you're talking AFL, you talk about a couple of big games of the year, and one of the biggest is the Anzac Day with Collingwood and Essendon. Rugby have got an absolute coup, and the Queensland government has announced that they have secured the Bledisloe Cup test against New Zealand. For the 3 so 27, 29, 31 on Anzac Day, which is huge.
Well, see,
huge days.
It was just like a growing rumble this year because the NRL has one, the AFL has one, and Super Rugby said, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did a test and then we could make it an Anzac test, New Zealand versus Australia?" And obviously they've run with that, and now they've signed contracts. So I reckon that'll be huge for rugby that day.
Yeah, and basically leading on from that, so the Super Rugby Pacific has confirmed a revamped structure. They got increased it by 2 rounds. Technically, there's 2 rounds, so it's 17 weeks, 16 games, 8 home games for, say, the Reds. But more importantly, the round 7 is the Anzac Day weekend, so it's a bye weekend for representative for those sort of things. So it's good.
Oh, so everyone's going to be available for that. I reckon that's going to be that'll be worth watching. That'll be amazing to get to. And Suncorp, I know we're biased up here, but it is a good field to watch from.
It is, but I will say, you talk about bias. The one time I felt out of place was at Suncorp against the All Blacks. I would dare say when I was there, 75-80% of the crowd had a black shirt on. It's crazy. It's just amazing. They really do support it.
Yeah.
And I can see it being a big one for Anzac Day.
Yeah. No, that's going to be great. The last one, I've popped in a cricket story. So another shameful Ben Stokes English captain controversy. So he was suspended a test match for breaking curfew at a nightclub. Remember, he's the captain. Should be setting the example, of course. He's had a hissy fit in this last test, quit halfway through it, promoting himself in the batting lineup for the last, and they've had a batting collapse. And so they lost the game and therefore the series against New Zealand. Like, I know our players aren't saints, but and our team's more about corporate selling out than partying these days. But I just can't imagine any of our players ever being so selfish to promote themselves up and trying to go out on this big swan song and absolutely shit the bed. And the only people I could ever imagine doing that for Australia are the Chappell brothers. So it looked really bad. I think there's going to be a bit of change in English cricket as a result of this.
Yeah, it was actually, even the way his retirement was announced, there was a video of the BBC commentary guys getting it midway through a session, and they were just like Phil Tufnell and whatnot were just like, what's going on? This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and there was a video that did go around basically saying, oh, hey, yeah, look, let's not do all the bum tax and all the pleasantries and the sads until after the game's done. But then they posted, like, let's not make it about me. But then he posted this video of him saying that and all the other stuff going on. He definitely made it about him.
He did.
Yeah.
It was really disappointing, and probably even for himself, he probably could have gone out in a much better way. So it's very disappointing how that all came around. But he's had a hissy fit, and he's thrown the toys out of the pram, and he's off, and he'll go and make millions in the IPL or something like that now. And
yeah, he just follow Chris Gale and around with all the different comps,
make more money than they've ever made, and yeah. Oh, 100%. Well, I think that's wrapped up our sports podcast for the evening.
Very quickly, I am wearing the Queensland Beer Royal Awards on tonight, the shoeing shirt, because the wine's on this week. So they're doing their judging as we speak. Trophy Day was today.
Yep.
So quite a lot of the stewards that do the beer awards for us are backing up for the for the Capsy and Ryan and Bruce and Helena. Yep. So good on them. I believe there will be, I think there's some sort of great grazing event which they're meant to be celebrating some of the awardees for the beer and food and wine awardees.
There is one coming up. It's the 150th Eka evening.
Yep.
And also at the moment, I think if you jump on, you can get 50% off Eka tickets at the moment as well.
That's tomorrow from midday. But because they didn't spool up their server properly, they had a DOD denial of service last week. So you need a code tomorrow to get you 50% off. But there will also be a 30% and 20% tickets as well. So yeah, but that's all starting tomorrow at midday.
Lovely. Not sponsored by the Eka, but maybe we should be.
Look, we are like all three of us are very much met and started and celebrate the beer with the beer awards, and the beer awards do really champion Queensland breweries in particular. So it's worth and then basically go to the Eka, go down to Craft Beer Alley with Matt Kirkengarg and have some beers.
Definitely take your kiddies to the little miniature petting zoo, which is always fun. Go on a Ferris wheel, get a show bag, watch some motorbikes do jumps, look at some cows. Yeah. Typical agricultural show in the city.
100%.
What do they say? It's when the country comes to the city or something like that?
Yeah, the country meets the city. I believe that's right, yeah.
And
awesome.
All of that pavilion there where all the horses are, that's where they're going to be building the accommodation for the Olympic Games.
Is it the stables or is it the one next door? Because I thought the stables were heritage listed.
So it's all up around the back of the stables where Industrial Hill and like where the Stockman's is. And the good thing is, this is a smart thing. After the Olympics are done, that's accommodation within walking distance of the city that they're going to be able to use.
That's accommodation for us when we're judging.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Alrighty, great chat, and I will see you next week, and hopefully Angus as well. Thank you everyone for listening to our basement quality banter, or watching us if you're unfortunate enough to see us on YouTube. Jump on the Facebook page and drop us a line if you see anything interesting you want to share, or give us shit about anything. And we'll see you next week.
See you later, guys. Have a good one.
Adios.